Well, hello everybody, and welcome back once again to a special evening edition of Notes from the Pastor Cave. I wonder what the number is. Like, how many special editions can you have before they're no longer special editions? I'm not sure, but we do have a couple in a row here, and it's just a scheduling thing. It's just a timing issue, and I hope you're enjoying my oddly silhouetted face here. Really much more heavily influenced by the ring light tonight than usual. And then I looked and I realized I had my really manly Peter Pan shirt on. I always say, if I have to go into a biker bar or something, I always make sure I have my Peter Pan shirt on, just to make me look extra tough. But anyways, I want to remind you that we are in constant. Whoa, where is everything? There it is. We are in constant need of subscribers, if I get it out right. Need of subscribers. Please subscribe, like these videos, post on these videos. Please share these videos. We need more and more subscribers. We are still a really long way off from our goal. And that's not really a selfish thing. It's really one of these things where if we can hit 1,000, there's a whole new level of stuff that happens on YouTube. As I keep saying, we are essentially unviable tissue mass to the YouTube world until we hit 1,000, and then all of a sudden we're somebody. So we really need to grow this channel. I'm excited about where we are. I'm thankful for where we are. But we're really just over 10% of where we need to be to make this thing roll, and so we've got to get out there and continue to do it. If you would like some of these cards, I've told you before, I'd be glad to send it. Don't put your address in the comment section, but just find a way to get a hold of me. Not only do we link these over on Facebook to several places, but we also now have a group in MeWe. If you one of those bold people who has decided to join MeWe in the last year, we now have an actual group called Notes from the Pastor Cave on MeWe. And so if you make yourself a part of that group, then when these videos come up, then you'll be notified that has happened, and you won't ever have to miss one note from the Pastor Cave ever again. Okay, so we've been in Exodus chapter 34, and as I mentioned last time, we really slow down when we come to these communication sessions that take place between God and Moses. And there's just been this very beautiful section here where God says, "Go make new tablets," and then the Lord comes down. He actually passes in front of Moses, and Moses does his part, bowing down in humility. Probably better put in a Middle Eastern sense. He probably went face down to the ground in front of the Lord, and he says, after he worships, he says, "If now I have found favor in your sight, O Lord, please let the Lord go in the midst of us," which we talked about last time, "for it is a stiff-necked people, and pardon our iniquity and our sin." Moses could have said, "Hey, that's their problem, that's their sin." He doesn't do that. He says, "This is our problem. This is our sin, and take us for your inheritance." And that's the area that we covered last time. And then verse 10 rolls around. This is where we kind of get into new territory. And he said, meaning God, "Behold, I am making a covenant before all your people. I will do marvels, such as have not been created in all the earth or in any nation. And all the people among whom you are shall see the work of the Lord, for it is an awesome thing that I will do with you." Okay? So Moses has this prayer session with God in which he is once again interceding for the people that he represents. He's interceding for the people of God, and he throws himself in there too, even though he doesn't have to. He's interceding as us. And God God's answer is, yeah, I'm going to do something. And not only am I going to do something, I'm going to do something special. I'm going to do something like nobody has ever seen before. It's going to be utterly amazing what I'm going to do. And and so we have this great depiction of God. Again, one of our we tend to be predisposed to thinking about God as hard and mean. Kind of, kind of a guy sitting on a throne, half angry all the time, just ready to come bite your head off if you say the wrong thing and do the wrong thing. Here's God saying, hey, look, this is going to be fantastic. This is going to be just the most amazing thing. I've reestablished this covenant with you. And I'm going to do marvels. I'm going to do marvels. And the things that I'm going to do for you are things that nobody has ever seen before. And surely if we jump ahead and we begin to look through the scriptures and we begin to see what God does to establish Israel in the promised land, the land that was promised to them, God makes it happen. Now, the people are not necessarily always faithful. Sometimes they are, but they're not necessarily always faithful to their end of the bargain. But God is faithful to His end of the bargain. And He says, "Man, I'm just gonna rock your world. Every once in a while, I'm just gonna do something that is just gonna shock you." And this is part of the nature and the character of God. He's an impassioned lover who, he loves to bring roses to his to his betrothed, to his bride. He loves to surprise her, and this is what we see. We're you're going out with somebody or beginning to fall in love with somebody. You want to use language like that, man. If you'll be my wife or if you'll be my husband, man, I'm gonna be the best ever. I'm gonna do stuff that no husband, no wife's ever done before. I'm just gonna, because I love you so much and because I find you, just the most amazing thing in the world. This is the same language that God is using here. Okay. And he says, "Observe what I command you this day. Behold, I will drive out before you," and here comes the usual list: the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. And then he says in verse 12, he says, "Take care lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land to which you go, lest it become a snare in your midst. You shall tear down their altars and break their pillars and cut down their Asherim." Okay, so the little note that I have here is, don't connect with the obstacles of your future. My writing is terrible. I had to reinterpret what I had written here. Don't connect with the obstacles. Okay, so all of these tribes and all of their very negative religious practices, their really evil religious practices, are all obstacles for Israel. And so God is saying, look, don't make a covenant with your obstacles, right? With the things that you need to beat, the things that you need to overcome in your life. Don't make a deal with them. Don't make a covenant with those things, because they're actually obstacles, right? So why would you make a covenant with an obstacle? And aren't we just exactly the same way? That we want to take these obstacles we have in our lives. We have things that we know are not pleasing to God in our lives, and they're obstacles to us. We have idols that we make in our lives, and we know that they're not pleasing to God. We know that they're obstacles, right? And so what do? We kind of make a deal with them, right? And because we don't want to display the amount of faith and sometimes the amount of discipline that it takes to overcome these obstacles. And so we make a deal with them, right? Well, okay, I'm not gonna watch this really. I mean, everybody knows that this is an ungodly program, right? But but this program here, that's just kind of not quite as ungodly as this other program here. I'm going to go ahead and watch that, and that's, I'm just kind of making a deal because hey, I got to watch some TV, right? So and we make compromises with all kinds of things like that. We make those compromises with music and our reading material, what we're viewing on the internet. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, right? That we make compromises, and these things all represent obstacles in our lives. They represent walls between us and having a really great relationship with God. And yet we give place to these obstacles. God says, don't do that. Don't make any covenants with these inhabitants, right? Because we all have, when we come to the Lord, we all have kind of these things in our lives that are kind of our inhabitants. Sometimes they come from our family of origin. Sometimes they come from influences that we've allowed in our lives. Sometimes it's just inadvertent influences we've had in our lives. And sometimes it's just our plain old broken nature. They all represent things that create obstacles for us. God says, don't connect with those things. Don't connect with them, because when you connect with them, they're going to become a snare. Okay, so that's it for tonight. And I just, special evening edition. And so I say unto you, Vita brevis gloria aeterna. Life is short, glory is eternal. I hope you're going to have a great day.